Let's imagine all of Earth's 4.5 billion-year history, condensed into a single day. Just 24 hours on an ordinary clock, or watch, like this. If we start right now, then the first humans walked the Earth only 30 seconds ago. Dinosaurs began roaming the planet just before 11 p.m. The first multicelled animals evolved at 9:05. Before that, mostly single-celled organisms existed, and we think the first of those appeared around 4 o'clock in the morning. Earth was born at midnight on this 24-hour clock, 4.5 billion years ago. But its violent history began well before that, when huge ancient stars that had reached the ends of their lives exploded. These supernovas cooked up all the chemical elements we know today, including iron, carbon, gold, and even radioactive elements like uranium. Over time, gravity took hold, and this cloud of stardust collapsed into an enormous rotating disk, the solar nebula. In the center of this disk, temperature and pressure rose, and a star, our sun, was born. Eventually, gases like hydrogen and helium would be swept to the far reaches of the disk. But closer to the sun were dust grains made of the heavier elements.
They're circling around the early sun and little racetracks, and occasionally grains traveling nearby will collide. Something like this happens in your house. If you look under your bed, you find that little bits of dust are clutching together into big, large dust balls. And something like that must be what happened in the solar system too. If they collide slowly, it can add up to a larger object and gradually grow.
With enough collisions, dust grew into pebbles, and pebbles grew into rocks. And as the rocks grew larger, so did the collisions.
If they collide head-on or at higher velocities, then they'll actually break apart, like shooting a gun at a wall.
But other times, the rocks stuck together. And the larger they got, the stronger their gravity became.
Because of the gravitational attraction between these bodies, you coalesce. Instead of just making a mess, and you do make a mess as well, you build bigger things because gravity holds things together.
In time, gravity shaped them into small round planets, or planetesimals, just a few miles across.
Gradually they grow from golf ball size to rugby ball size, and then house size and township size. And then one or two of these objects would get large faster than anything else and will become the big boys on the block.
Eventually, some of these planetesimals grew as big as our moon. And then, they combined to form the 4 small rocky planets closest to the Sun: Mercury, Venus, Mars, and Earth. But the early Earth bore little resemblance to the planet we're all familiar with. And today, working out exactly what Earth was like as a newborn planet is no easy task. It's sort of like looking at me as an adult and trying to figure out exactly what I was like as a baby. When was I born? How much did I weigh? Now, a snapshot will give you a pretty good idea of what I looked like when I was young. But the Earth was born 4.5 billion years ago, and hardly anything survives from that time to tell us about our planet's infancy. That's because at midnight on the clock, the newborn planet was nothing but a fiery ball of rock covered with lava.